Meeting between these two teams, so who can be the difference maker? You're looking at one of them right now. It's Virginia Tech's number 17, Ethan Hackenberg, who gets that first touch to get us rolling here in Blacksburg. And quickly, the Hokies will get the ball upfield. On the other side for Davidson, man, their go-to guy is definitely Dennis Kirchenkopf, one of the finest forwards in the A10. That young man leads the team in goals, assists, points, and he's second in the A10 in shots. So look out for that when it comes to Davidson College and their ability to just have some high-octane offense. There's a through ball up the right sideline, and that one kept in play, but Davidson will bring it back up that touch line now, and the Wildcats getting their first possession. That's short-lived. Back to the middle of the field now. Carter Hensley, and that one stopped by the keeper. Goalkeeper Lucas Beltran in net today. So what's on the line for these two teams? Again, Virginia Tech, 2-game losing streak, but with a win tonight, they can remain undefeated in non-conference play. Man, would that be a resume builder? If you ask analysts across the league, Virginia Tech, a team that's right outside that bubble for the NCAA tournament, despite going 1-5-2 in ACC play so far, a win tonight could really put them back in this conversation considering the strength of the conference that they're in. I mean, nearly half the teams in the ACC are in the top 25. A10 not too shabby either. Davidson, a team that's had to kind of fight tooth and nail for a spot towards the top end of those standings. So it's not like they're completely out of the conversation, but something special would have to happen in the A10 tournament for them. And lucky for them, all 15 teams compete in that bracket in just a week from now. Man, the soccer season just flies by. At midfield, there's the left back for Davidson, Eamon Moylan. And Virginia Tech with a high press right now. And a miscue down the far touchline. Virginia Tech with possession. Hokies in the maroon. Normal home look for Mike Brisendine's squad. Davidson Wildcats in the all-whites with red lettering across their chests. Red jersey numbers bolded on their backs. Hokies coming off a tight loss at home against number 10 Duke just a few days ago. As you get a touch from the goalkeeper, another stud for this team for Virginia Tech, in the form of number 25, Cooper Wenzel. Free ball up the middle. That one taken away by Uemana. And at midfield, racing away with it, Ian Marsano. And they switch fields. Virginia Tech running your basic 4-3-3 today. They have a very traditional approach to soccer. It's really just about what they can do on the ball. And again, Ethan Hackenberg up towards the top of the field is real special when he is on top of the ball. Through ball down the left touch line, and it's pinged out of play. So Davidson finally getting a touch here. Just about 3 minutes into this contest. Hackenberg, out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, has been with Virginia Tech the whole way. Transferred a couple seasons ago from Coastal Carolina. Meanwhile, here's one of the captains, Willie Cardona, the defender. A focal point of the back line for Virginia Tech. Shifts up to midfield often, though. Through ball up the middle, and it's a race to it, but the keeper, Lucas Beltran, finds it first. Beltran, the sophomore, out of California, getting tested early, and that's Virginia Tech's motto. Trying to get as many shots off as possible as they once again flex the high press. And a deep boot upfield. Free ball at the center X. Getting a touch on it there. Noah Luzon. Stolen away. Touch up field from Willie Cardona. Out to Hackenberg in those patented blue cleats on the right touchline. Looking for service. He spins around. Quick touch in. Hackenberg off the ball. Back post, and they can't get a boot on it. It's still free in the box. Ping back up to the 18. And Davidson appears to survive this effort from Virginia Tech. A through ball down the left touchline, and they do get a guy to it. Upfield quickly, it's Vincent Benage. Top of the box, and stolen away. And now you get Cooper Wenzel to it, and a sigh of relief from Virginia Tech. Early effort from Davidson here. Hokies lead the all-time series between these two teams, 5-4-3. This is their 13th meeting. So expect another close one tonight. Well, the Hokies on a 2-game losing streak, 2-1 at Wake Forest a week ago, and then last week, 1-0 at home against number 10 Duke. Davidson is riding off a 2-game losing streak of their own, but against stiff competition, back-to-back ranked matchups. The only two ranked teams in the A-10. It was number 24 Duquesne and then number 25 Dayton. They had a D3 contest with Johnson and Wales smushed in between, an 8-0 win, which was their scoringest game as a program since 2002. And that's the beauty of NCAA soccer. You get programs from multiple levels playing each other. But in terms of Virginia Tech and Dayton meeting, it's one of the more popular non-conference matchups that we see on the East Coast year to year. Hokies switching field here. No shots between either of these teams yet, and Davidson stealing that one away on the far corner. Trying to find Hensley. They'll cycle it back towards Cardona. Nice touch up the middle by Marsano. And back to Cardona. Everybody upfield for Virginia Tech right now. Just about 7 minutes into this contest. Hensley, service to the left side of the 18. Working away on the far corner. And serving it back out is Malik Dow. Service back post, and it's pinged back to the top of the box. Davidson has it. Stolen back away by Hensley. Pinball action at midfield. And Virginia Tech comes out with it. Matthias Johannes finding it at midfield. And now Davidson takes it back. High pressure by the Hokies to start things off. One more touch. Trying to find Cardona. It's Marsano. Back to Cardona. Marsano. Cardona again. Right side of the box. Targeting Marsano at the top, and he can't get it. It's stolen away. Davidson with some nice 1-2 work on that touchline, but it's stolen away. A shot from the top of the box. Deflection. Back post and in. Some luck for it. And it's Oliver Roach to find the back of the net early for Virginia Tech. Oliver Roach with his third goal of the year. Tied for a team lead with 4 goals last year and finds lucky number 3 on this fancy deflection, and sometimes it just pays off to be tall. All 6'3" of that Dutchman finding the back of the net. 7 minutes in, and the Hokies lead it 1-0. How about that by Oliver Roach? One of many international pickups for Virginia Tech this year. Scored in his Denmark debut for the U18 squad against Iceland a couple of years ago.
Virginia Tech goal scored by number 11, Oliver Roach.
Also holds the record for Virginia Tech's most goals by a freshman since 2019. So in this decade, Oliver Roach, among young players, has stood out. And he puts pressure on immediately. Hokies with numbers again. Shot from the top of the box, and that one well wide. Malik Dow trying to find a boot from about 20 yards out there. You got to like the high-octane offense by Virginia Tech early. Lucas Beltran ready to tee it away for Davidson as they're down 1-0. 10 minutes into this contest. It was Oliver Roach just a moment ago. Free ball at midfield. And they'll give it to Davidson. Far touchline for Davidson, finally back in their attacking third until now. Hokies with a throw in. Now, are the Hokies accurate shooters? You could say so. Mid-level in the ACC. 1.93 goals per game. That's 8th in a newly studded Atlantic Coast Conference. And so you're going to see them shoot a lot, though. That's their forte, is just putting stuff on goal. Virginia Tech second in the ACC in shots per game. They let 17 shots rip per contest. Here's a volley from the far side. Hokies putting on pressure again, but Davidson handles it fine. And a common corner kick, perhaps, for Virginia Tech. There's a shot of Malik Dow, one of many international products on this Virginia Tech roster, as the Hokies settle numbers in front of the 6 here. The first corner kick opportunity of the afternoon. Marsano on ball. Hokies lead at 1-0. Johannes, back to Marsano. Back post, high serve. Header towards the top of the box, a wide ping. Turning around, letting it rip, and Roach couldn't get it this time. Oliver Roach looking for a quick second goal, but Lucas Beltran snuffed it out. And the Dutchman will wait a moment for another chance at goal number 2 tonight. Lucas Beltran has already had to save 3 balls. Oliver Roach putting high pressure on at the top. Davidson scrambling to find an outlet here. They go back to the keeper, Beltran, who has to flick it upfield. Eamon Moylan rushing down that left sideline. In hot pursuit, here's a through ball. Luzon back to the top of the 18, a free man ready at the ACC logo. And back to Moylan, fighting for space. Castellini cycles to the back of the midfield now. And they'll switch fields. Virginia Tech, relentless pressure right now. Iman Madir, left back, a sophomore, putting high service out towards the right touchline. Davidson just keeping it in. Vincent Benage towards the top of the 18 and stolen away by Virginia Tech. Pinball action. Davidson, second chance. And once again, a wasted opportunity for Davidson. Down 1-0 here. Deep through ball, but it ends up in the wickets of Lucas Beltran, the keeper for Davidson. 15 minutes in, and Virginia Tech leads it 1-0 after Oliver Roach's 8th-minute goal. Lucky deflection, and the 6'3" Dutchman headed it to the back of the net. Davidson pleading for something there as a midfielder poked it out of the hands of Davidson's throw-in guy. That was Johannes for Virginia Tech. Gamesmanship in full form on this autumn evening in Blacksburg. Eamon Moylan with service from the far side. Back to him. Noah Lozan looking for an outlet. So Virginia Tech, their story, they shoot a lot. 17 shots per game, good for second in the ACC. What about Davidson? How do they claw back into this matchup? Well, they have a high-octane offense as well, but they're very aggressive, and that may be the arrow in the back of their boot, if you will. They're tied for the second most yellow cards per game in the A10. They get 2 and then some yellows per contest, as once again being aggressive upfield, and there's a boot back out, a shot from distance, and it's saved just fine by Wenzel. Good opportunity for the Wildcats, but they can't capitalize. Vincent Benage trying to find the back of the net. One of 3 Wisconsin natives on this Dayton team. Davidson team, that is. Out of Kenosha, Wisconsin. Played on FC Wisconsin alongside his teammate and star forward for Davidson, Dennis Kirchenkopf, who's been awfully quiet so far tonight. At midfield, Marsano. Through ball down the far right touch line. They can't get it. And a free kick. So Virginia Tech attacking the weak point of Davidson's roster early. Davidson, a team that just allows too many shots. They've given up 4th most shots on goal per game in the A10. 2.6 shots on goal. But they're looking to get a shot on goal themselves. What a tackle at midfield, but whistle blows, so Johannes' effort means nothing, although Davidson arguing about something here. There's a shot of Johannes. Kentucky transfer. One of a handful of transfers on this Virginia Tech roster. But originally out of Virginia, so we've seen that trend in today's day and age of the transfer portal. People who felt like they didn't really go home for college, spend a couple seasons elsewhere, like Kentucky, and say, you know what, let's go back home, and they end up right here in the New River Valley. But for Davidson, it's a free kick from about 30 out. The lefty lets it rip, and it's right into the wall. Ayman Madir was on ball there, but really no effort on the shot, and a miscue on the far side by Willie Cardona. Back at it. Balin Young gets it stripped. And out of play, Davidson ball. Eamon Moylan, service in, and a pass out of play. Mishaps like that are why Virginia Tech's dominated the time of possession tonight. Fight for it on the far side. Hokies keep it. Quick service in. Hensley looking for someone, and Davidson takes it back. Through ball on the far side. Davidson with an opportunity here. They see a man open at the top of the 18, but horizontal pass stolen away by Virginia Tech. Through ball for the Hokies. They get a touch forward, but a high boot, and they'll stop the play over at the ACC logo. Hard tackle there, and Carter Hensley took quite the ding on that one. Charlotte, North Carolina native. One of 14 captains for this squad and started every game last year, second most in minutes. Just a vital part of the midfield for Virginia Tech, multiple seasons in a row now. Don't want to see that guy banged up, and Virginia Tech knows that they've had their issues with injuries this year. You get guys like Declan Quill back on the field, Floki Stevenson as well. And a yellow card awarded to Iman Madir. I mentioned it earlier. Davidson, second most yellow cards in the A10. Very aggressive team. So Madir, not the first time he's been there. Service up for Virginia Tech, who leads 1-0. Back post header, and it's right to Lucas Beltran. Oliver Roach again. And when you're 6'3", you're an easy target for service. Virginia Tech, 6 shots, 4 of which on goal. Davidson just 2 shots, only 1 on goal. So Hokies keeper Cooper Wenzel completely untested today. Hard tackle at the top of the box, and Davidson will keep it. Mentioned the all-time series between these two teams. It's their 13th meeting. Virginia Tech leads the series 5-4-3, so it's been competitive. Last time Davidson won against Virginia Tech was back on September 27, 2022, a 3-1 decision right here in Thompson Field. Pinball action at midfield. Davidson keeps it. Trying to get numbers upfield, but it's a whole lot of maroon in the defensive third. And sure enough, Cardona comes out with it, leading defender for Virginia Tech, and he'll work it upfield. Cardona, a Winthrop transfer, one of 8 transfers on this Virginia Tech roster. Oliver Roach, intended target there. Davidson takes it back. Shimmying and shaking on that far touch line. Here's a foot race to the ball, and finding it in the backfield is Floki Stevenson. Looked like it was offsides anyways. Floki Stevenson alongside Cardona, as well as Trey Gardner, a vital piece of their back line that's been one of the few rows of defense for Virginia Tech this year that really hasn't cycled all too much. As Cardona serves it upfield. There's a shot of Floki Stevenson. What a story this young man has. He's out of Iceland, and before he ever fully committed to soccer, or football as they call it over there, he was more interested in spinning discs. He was a DJ for him and his buddies in prep school over in Iceland. What a cool story that young man has. But right now, Virginia Tech threatening for a score. Instead, Davidson takes it back. Long story short, Floki Stevenson, one of many personalities on this Virginia Tech roster. I mean, you meet athletes all the time when you work in the sports industry. Many have unique interests. I have a ton of friends who know how to play the guitar, and I just don't understand how they ever learn that stuff. But to be a DJ while also being casually a U19 Icelandic national football player. I mean, that's a talented individual for Virginia Tech. Davidson takes the ball back at midfield. Again, just 2 shots for them, one of them on goal tonight. Virginia Tech has served up 4 shots on goal, 6 overall. And it was an 8th-minute goal by Oliver Roach on a header towards the front post. That makes it 1-0 Hokies. Carter Hensley serving up trouble at midfield. Wildcats taking their time to serve it back in. On the field now, Jack Brown, defensive midfielder out of Peoria, Arizona. Appeared in all 16 games last year. One of his 3 career starts last season was against Virginia Tech on September 3rd. All smiles on that Virginia Tech bench. I wonder if they're talking to each other. Long throw in from Jack Brown. Top of the box, shot from distance, and it's served over the post. Letting it rip from about 20 out was Noah Lozan, midfielder, sophomore for Davidson. He also started against Virginia Tech last year, one of 3 starts for him last season. He's since become a focal point of the starting lineup for Davidson. Lyman Ott off the bench and on the field for Davidson. A super sub, if you will. He appeared in all 16 games last year, but no starts. Eats up a ton of minutes, though. 477 minutes off the bench in the midfield last season. See what he offers at midfield, where Virginia Tech's been winning a lot of the possession battle. Hokies lead at 1-0 with 20 to go here in the first half. Pinball action at midfield. Davidson will take it the other way. For Virginia Tech, it's Oliver Roach with 3 shots tonight. He has the lone goal. As Dennis Kirchenkopf is on the pitch now, and he's the go-to guy for Davidson. Out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This young man leads the team in goals, assists, points, you name it. Second in the A-10 in shots, as well as shots on goal. We'll see what he has to offer. Peculiar enough that Kirchenkopf wasn't in the starting lineup. Ball taken away at midfield for Davidson. Finally winning a possession battle here. Service down that left touchline. See if they can keep it in, and it's out of play. Willie Cardona will take it the other way. Hokies still lead at 1-0. Hensley fighting for possession on the far side. And a ball pinged off the front of McComas Hall over there. Hokies, 17 minutes to go here in the first half of action. Oliver Roach with that 8th-minute goal. 4 shots on goal so far. Kind of a lull in the action as both teams' defenses center up. On the field now, Trey Gardner for Virginia Tech. Through ball upfield. What a touch on that far side. Looking for work is Marcano. Out to Hackenberg, leading goal scorer for the Hokies. And they switch fields now. They'll cycle it through the defense. Floki Stevenson out to Trey Gardner. Back to Willie Cardona. And a ball right into the hands of Lucas Beltran. Sophomore earning the starting keeper spot. And he gets to play on a beautiful afternoon here at Thompson Field in Blacksburg, Virginia. Again, I'm Kyle Marshak. Thank you guys for joining me on this wonderful afternoon. A couple days out from Halloween. Everybody putting on their best Cristiano Ronaldo impression, whatever you want to call it, but Hokies looking more like that tonight as they've controlled possession at midfield all day and have quadrupled the shots on goal to their opponent Davidson tonight. 13th all-time meeting between these two teams. Now to Cooper Wenzel. And Willie Cardona waiting for the whistle here.
Now on for Davidson, number 13, Miles Cully, number 17, Piers Ringal.
And some subs on the far side, but Willie Cardona ready to throw this ball in. Starting right back for Virginia Tech. Vital piece of this defense. Troy Gardner will start with it. Upfield and taken away. Beltran once again. Lucas Beltran, as a sophomore, has had a lot asked of him for Davidson this year in the A10. He can get the job done, 607 save percentage, but 1.71 goals against average, tough. Not going to cut it in the A10, a conference among mid-majors stronger than others. Also being asked a lot in terms of experience. Only played in one regular season contest last year. Now he's the starting keeper. And so admittedly a roster spot that Davidson would have recruited for more second time around in the offseason. But he has cut it as a young man. One of few that starts as an underclassman in the A10 at the goalkeeping spot. Does have 37 saves this year, but to 24 goals allowed. With the young defense in front of them, they've just let a lot of shots on that young man. Hokies now taking their time as they lead it by 1 with 13.5 to go here in the first half. And a through ball to nobody, so Iman Madir tries to get it back to the keeper, but a slow touch means he has to boot it up to midfield. And whistle falls in favor of Virginia Tech. Pierce Ringdahl looking unhappy. 13 to go. Through ball, laced wide of the 18, and Lucas Beltran takes it back for Davidson. Beltran asked to have 3 saves already tonight. Just 1 for Cooper Wenzel, the lone shot on goal by Davidson's offense. So Hokies just peppering more shots in there. Nice attempt to tackle at midfield by Johannes, but Davidson comes out with it. And Wenzel will boot it to his opponent's bench. 11 and a half to go. Johannes gets rid of it. Here's Cardona. Ethan Hackenberg spinning around at midfield. Through ball. Soft touch in that far touch line, and looks like it's Wildcats' ball. Fighting for possession down there was Andy Sullins, UVA transfer. Just under 11 to go. Hokies steal it away on the throw-in. Here's Johannes. He'll cycle it back through the defense now. Floki Stevenson, Icelandic talent, out to Cardona. And back to Stevenson. Here's Johannes, pinging it far side. And a loose ball at midfield. Davidson takes it back. Foot race for it. Two bodies hit the pitch. Hokies come out with it. 10 to go in the first half. Hokies lead it 1-0 on Oliver Roach's 8th-minute goal. Wildcats back with it. Looking for their first win against Virginia Tech since 2022. 3-1 decision here at Thompson Field last time around. Davidson not too far from here down in North Carolina. You get plenty of fans who travel up. But right now it's Mike Baps, the most focused fan, if you will, head coach for Davidson. 9.5 to go, and Baps' squad struggling to produce any offense. Back post, Roach the target, but to the top of the 18, and they reset. Johannes. Marcano. Curls some service in there. Loose ball, top of the box. Davidson back out with it. Wildcats up in numbers. Far touchline to the top of the 18. Left-footed shot is wide. And Wenzel watches it sail past his right shoulder. Just the third shot for Davidson tonight, only one of which on goal, as Miles Culley couldn't find any net there. How about that sunset, too? Beautiful afternoon for soccer here in Blacksburg, Virginia. You got the Blue Ridge Mountains out over yonder here at Thompson Field. With 8 minutes to go, the chill in the air becomes thicker. Halloween, ever looming. Best time of year to watch some soccer. Some Let's Go Hokies chants raining out here in the crowd at Thompson Field. It's like its own little crutch of campus. Thompson Field with one large grandstand facing the sunset. Pinned in between here, Lane Stadium behind us. And in the front of your view, McComas Hall, the recreational gym on campus for Virginia Tech. So in a really cool way, just kind of a focal point of Blacksburg. Want to go to the gym, you walk by Thompson Field, you see Virginia Tech men's and women's soccer in crazy games left and right. Who can forget women's soccer's comeback victory against number 6 Florida State a couple weeks ago? Or Virginia Tech in a losing effort, but a thriller nonetheless against number 10 Duke last week. Right now looking to make it 2-0 over Davidson. Curling service to the top of the box. Settled back down. Hensley spins it to Alex Perez. Service on a Cardona. He lets it rip, and there's no body on the other end of it. Johannes settles it in. Hensley. One more, trying to keep it in as Perez. He does. And he finds Cardona open at the right side of the box. Back to the top of the 18. On the edge of the attacking third, Hokies looking to reset. Cardona looking for a through ball, and it's taken away. Deflection on the far side, and Wildcats ball. 6 minutes to go now. As the campus falls dark, the lights take action on this fall afternoon for some footy. How about this effort from distance? Just wide, a curling shot. Slightly off target. Andy Sullins letting it rip. That would have been his second goal of the year. Just a loose ball at midfield from about 20 yards out. Couldn't get it. 5.5 to go. See if Davidson puts forth any effort to get another shot off here. As you see the Hokies, 7 shots in the afternoon. 4 of which on goal. And it feels like in this contest, Davidson just outsized by Virginia Tech, especially in the attacking third. Oliver Roach, the lone goal scorer, 6'3". But you look at the others making a difference, and it kind of makes sense. Johannes at 6 foot. Andy Sullins letting a shot rip at 6'1". Roach, admittedly, though, the tallest on this Hokies roster, has an inch over his own keeper, Cooper Wenzel. Cardona serving it off. Gives it to his partner, Ian Marcano. Floki Stevenson, service down the left touchline. Hard tackle. And it looks like it's going the other way. Nice effort by Patrick Ward. Sophomore right back for Davidson. Willie Cardona gives it off to Kirchenkopf. Back toward midfield, Davidson with 3.5 to go. May have one last chance here. Down 1-0 in the first half. Deflection at midfield, and Davidson resets. Eamon Moylan serves it in. Hokies have 3 shots alone from one man, Oliver Roach, who has the lone goal. Meanwhile, 4 shots total as a team from Davidson. 3 minutes to go. Wildcats in number. And a miscue on the 18 there, so Hokies will take it back with 2.5. Miles Coley couldn't get it. Miles Coley, a guy who can be a difference maker off the bench for Davidson, a guy who had a stellar high school career. A high school career that lasted 1 season in public school. Sure enough, I mean, when you're that talented, you start playing with clubs instead of high schools. But in 1 season of public high school soccer, Miles Coley, the guy coming off the bench for Davidson right now, have a guess as to how many goals that young man scored. I mean, a reasonable amount over a full high school soccer season. I don't know, throw a number out there, 20, 30. He scored 52 goals. Meanwhile, Hokies putting pressure up. Lucas Beltran takes it for Davidson. So number 13 in white is a kid to watch out for. 52 goals. That is a Maine state record among high school soccer players for single season goals. 52. That is absolutely ridiculous. He was the Maine Gatorade Player of the Year. Then, sure enough, went on to play in Philadelphia Union's youth academy for 2 seasons before ultimately getting recruited to play at Davidson. So, super talented young forward. And just a sophomore out of Falmouth, Maine. Stolen away. 60 seconds to go here in the first half. Hokies lead it 1-0. Through ball off target on the far touchline. And the Hokies can eat away at the waning seconds of the first half. .20 seconds to go. Hokies looking to get one last shot. Cooper Wenzel lets it rip. Through one half of play in Blacksburg, it's Oliver Roach's 8th minute goal that makes it 1-0. He'll take a rest alongside the rest of the Hokies in the locker room, and we'll take a rest here on the ACC network. Similar to his counterpart in Mike Brizendine, a guy with a lot of experience at multiple levels of collegiate soccer. And with that, we are underway for the second half of play here in Blacksburg as Virginia Tech leads it 1-0 over Davidson, their final non-conference matchup of the regular season. Again, Oliver Roach, the one to score the lone goal in this contest, 8th minute, a header to the back of the net. Since then, pretty quiet game offensively for both sides. And it's been a fight at midfield that Virginia Tech has mostly won in terms of time of possession. Davidson off rip, though, with a ball in their own attacking third for once. Working away on it. Toby eBay. Top of the box, a mishap. Here's a through ball to the left side. Shot on goal and finding the back post. Davidson with a quick response. And it's Noah Lozon to tie things up with his first goal of the year. The equalizer in the opening minutes of the second half on a huge mistake at the top of the box. Noah Lozon makes it 1-1. First goal of the season for him. 60 seconds into the second half, this game just changed drastically. And now the Hokies playing for a tie.
Goal by Davidson, scored by number 18, Noah Luzon.
Noah Lozon, first goal of the year for him. A sophomore. First goal in his career. Hokies back with it. Carter Hensley fighting for possession. Davidson immediately looking different out of the locker room here. And Mike Babst on the edge of his seat a little bit more now after watching his team fight tooth and nail for just a couple shots on goal in the first half. Now watching his team fight for a possible win here. 1-1 in Blacksburg. Jack Brown heaves it in. And some bodies off ball colliding. Hokies will take it the other way. Cooper Wenzel, goalkeeper for the Hokies, had a lot to say to his defenders after that. 3 minutes in, and opening minute of this half, it's Davidson that ties it. Nice touch on the near touch line for Hensley. Brings it upfield for some service. Here's a through ball to the far side. Marcano, one more to Cardona. Back to the top of the box. Marcano lets it rip right into the body of Beltran. A loose ball at the top of the 6, but it's blown off. Beltran down on the pitch. The Hokies saying, no way. We were there for that one. Piers Ringdahl looking rather upset. So is Ethan Hackenberg for the Hokies. But right now it's Lucas Beltran. I don't know. I don't want to play investigator here, but when you catch a boot, see the ball go loose and turn around like that, a lot of questions are raised as the authenticity of that play. And Ethan Hackenberg looks fuming on the far touchline for Virginia Tech. Got the trainer out now. Hackenberg's been a little quiet today. His first shot attempt, although it was blown off on the afternoon. A guy who's a leading goal scorer for Virginia Tech. And, well, Hackenberg's been a pleasant surprise for the Hokies this year. Transfer out of Coastal Carolina's made for an immediate difference. Played 2 years at Coastal. Spent 1 semester at Florida Gulf Coast before ultimately ending up at Virginia Tech. Had to earn his starting spot. Now he's the team leader in goals and points. A guy that Brizendine has had high praise for all year. 17 shots on goal, 30 shots overall, and 5 of which have found the back of the net. And a guy, according to Mike Brizendine, quote, plays with a level of swagger. And now Lucas Beltran back up. Gets some cheers from his opponent in Hackenberg, and it looks like we are back to soccer here in Blacksburg. Hokies threatened to unequalize this matchup after giving up an opening minute goal here in the second half. Lansing Howe, longtime head coach for the Hokies, 16th season. 6 NCAA tournament appearances for Virginia Tech. 25 years of coaching experience collegiately throughout his entire career. And like the mentality of his main goal scorer, Ethan Hackenberg, which I think is why they've connected so well, a guy who had to earn his position, didn't just come in and get the head coaching job. He was an assistant coach at Virginia Tech for 5 years before he took over as the head guy in 2009. It's created a very distinct culture of soccer here tucked in the New River Valley. Wenzel with some stiff service out to the near touchline, and Noe Uemana serves it to midfield. Uemana back to midfield. Alex Perez cycles it through the defense. Here's Johannes with a touch forward. Far touchline, Hackenberg. Looking for service on that far flag. Ball poked out of play, and it's a goal kick. Just 5 minutes into the second half, 1-1 between Virginia Tech and Davidson. Here's a through ball upfield and nothing doing for Davidson. Wildcats with 5 shots today, just 2 on goal. Hokies 8 shots, 5 on goal. And a majority of those coming in the first half for Virginia Tech. In the 8th minute of the first half, it was Oliver Roach for Virginia Tech that led it. Meanwhile, Wildcats in the attacking third here, but nothing doing. And Davidson had really nothing to offer in response in the first half. They come out of the locker rooms, and 60 seconds into the second half, Noah Lozan scores his first collegiate goal to equalize it here in Blacksburg. Unpredictable sport, huh? 7 minutes in, 1-1 between Virginia Tech and Davidson. Hensley, flick on to his partner on the near touchline. Marcano. Hensley from distance. Beltran finds it. Carter Hensley, the senior midfielder for Virginia Tech, has spent all of his collegiate playing days with the Hokies. Flick on from midfield. Toby eBay challenging the keeper Wenzel here. And now the Hokies will bring it back up to the middle third. Collision at midfield. It's going the other way. And the ball's in play while a player was down. I think they were in a rush to get that thing going. Back to Hensley at midfield for Virginia Tech. Big part of the season for both teams. Davidson looking to boost their resume as they enter the A10 tournament. Team likely on the outside looking in, but for Virginia Tech, playing in such a tough conference where half the teams are ranked, the Hokies could really make a statement by finishing strong here. If they come back at a win against Davidson, and then for them, what's so important is the result of their final regular season contest against a ranked Clemson squad. Clemson number 3 in the nation, sitting at 2nd in the ACC, 5-2 in conference. 10-2-2 overall. So the Hokies, despite being 1-5-1 in ACC play at 7-5-2 overall, could almost punch their ticket to an NCAA tournament if they win out. But that includes tonight, and they just conceded an equalizer in the opening minute of this second half. As for Davidson, up next for them, an important close to the regular season as they take on A10 foe Rhode Island come Saturday, November 2nd. Then the quarterfinals of the A10 tournament starts November 8th. For Virginia Tech, first round, quarterfinals November 6th through the 10th. Those are all on campus sites. But if the Hokies work their way through the ACC tournament, find themselves in the semifinals and championship rounds from the 14th to the 17th in Cary, North Carolina. They'll have done something right. And as many collegiate soccer fans know, Cary, the site of many very important NCAA tournament games in recent history. So Hokies with some big games ahead of them. Feels like it's been kind of a return to prominence, too, for Virginia Tech men's soccer, with some struggles in the past couple of seasons. Hokies steal it away in the defensive third. Under 35 to go here in the second half. 1-1. Oliver Roach for Virginia Tech, 8th minute goal. And in the 46th minute, opening minute of the second half, it was Noah Lozon for Davidson to equalize it. Here's Hackenberg with some service and a corner for Virginia Tech, just the third time today they get to do that. Hackenberg, the Coastal Carolina transfer, takes a trot towards the center of the box. Big opportunity for Virginia Tech here. Marcano, back of the 18, and Beltran will take it as he gobbles it up at the 6, and really nothing they could do there. As CJ Capola is on the pitch now for Virginia Tech. Substitution, the St. Louis transfer out of the A-10. Speaking of transfers, I mean, how many of them have been big impacts for Virginia Tech this year? They've got 8 of them. Meanwhile, you've got Floki Stevenson hobbling over something in the back of this defensive line. Eight transfers out of 28 roster spots for Virginia Tech. A young team, too, with 6 true freshmen. 6 freshmen for Davidson, but the peculiar part about their roster, no transfers. I looked this roster up and down. I couldn't find one. In today's day and age of the transfer portal and how significant those additions can be to different rosters, I found that very peculiar. Wildcats, a home-recruited, homegrown team, you could say. Cooper Wenzel for the Hokies will reset now. Cooper Wenzel on ball, another important transfer for Virginia Tech, and perhaps the transfer of all 8 on this Hokies roster that's made the longest trip. Came over from Cal State Northridge. Meanwhile, Davidson up in numbers. Back post, no service. Hokies get away with it. Ian Marcano upfield, trying to find Hackenberg. And Oliver Roach free down the right touchline. Service, top of the box. From the left post, Hackenberg trying to keep it in. He does, but finding it is Beltran. Fleet-footed effort by Hackenberg, but he can't get it to go. And with 31 minutes to go, it's still an equal contest. Uh-oh, Hokies take it at the top of the box again. Shot from distance, and Alex Perez can't do it this time. Perez went to Philadelphia Union Academy as well. Out of Las Vegas. True freshman, one of 6 that has made an impact on this Hokies roster. Here's service to Wenzel. A little too little pace on that pass back, and Hokies trying to recover from a bad outlet. Marcano will take it down the far touchline. He's taking his space. At midfield, he gives it off to Johannes. Half an hour to go here in Blacksburg. Perez. Some service at the top of the 18. It's taken away. Floki Stevenson. Johannes. Now Hackenberg. Hackenberg, some footwork and trying to find CJ Capola. Was expecting some off-ball movement there, and they just kind of look at each other. Second half of action here in Blacksburg if you're just joining us. Kyle Marshak, thank you guys for being with me today as the Hokies started this contest up 1-0 against Davidson, but the Wildcats in the opening minute of the second half respond with a Noah Lozon goal, his first in his collegiate career. Oliver Roach was the goal scorer in the first half, but right now an equal contest with 28 minutes to go here in Blacksburg. Again, Kyle Marshak, thank you guys for joining me today. Nice autumn evening and a whole lot of offense, especially in that first half out of the Hokies, who in the first half had 7 shots, 4 of which on goal. Quadrupled the amount on goal from Davidson, but Wildcats with just 1 shot equalized things here in the second half. Wildcats on the near touch line looking to get things rolling. And they'll cycle it through their defense to start it off. Hokies steal it away at midfield. Here's Ian Marcano, who's been a part of a lot of the offense today. Off to Trey Gardner. Marcano trying to keep it in. Davidson will take it back. Miscue on the far touchline. There's a shot of 1 impact transfer for Virginia Tech. One of significance in this game as they play Davidson. It's Trey Gardner, starting center back for Virginia Tech, playing his old team. Pretty cool story out of him, huh? One of 8 transfers on the Hokies roster, playing his former team for the first time today. Trey Gardner may know a thing or two about Davidson's scheme on field, huh? Played 4 seasons there. So in his final year of eligibility, comes out to Virginia Tech. But he wasn't just another player for Mike Babb's squad in 2023 or any of the past 4 seasons for the Wildcats. He was a team captain last year. Started all 16 contests, so pretty cool when you get a transfer facing his old team, especially when he was important to that former squad. And there he is serving the ball upfield. Off to Johannes, the Frenchman, looking for service on the near side, and he can't get it, just too much pace. Substitutions. Here's Patrick Ward, defender, sophomore for Davidson, onto the pitch. One of 3 California transfers on this roster for the Wildcats. .25 to go here. Second half of action. Virginia Tech and Davidson. Nice autumn evening for men's soccer in the ACC. Hokies looking to snap a 2-game losing streak. Lost 2-1 at Wake Forest a week ago. Meanwhile, trying to get rid of this offensive push by Davidson. And then a few days ago, Virginia Tech losing And a very strong effort against number 10 Duke, 1-0 at home. Team that's just on the outside of the NCAA tournament bubble looking in. Win here would continue some momentum into their final regular season contest where they take on number 2 ranked Clemson, second best team in the ACC. That's the overwhelming story of this season for Virginia Tech. A strong squad, but playing in most likely the best conference in all of college soccer. Davidson offside there. Hokies take it the other way. Cardona on the far side. Working away for the Hokies. Hackenberg with a smooth touch up to Marcano. Back to Hackenberg. Trying to find service in. He can't get it. Marcano takes it back out. Second chance for the Hokies. Back post. Ping-balled in. Oliver Roach finds it. This time it's CJ Capola off the bench. And the Hokies take the lead with 24 minutes to go. CJ Capola, second goal of the year. Great service by Marcano. Pinballed around. Originally a shot from Oliver Roach, but it deflected off the foot of CJ Capola, who was ecstatic to get his second goal. How about that deflection? Just hilarious, the calamities that occurred in that goal alone. Oliver Roach with a swiping volley, deflects off his own teammate and into the back of the net. I'd be upset too if I were Oliver Roach. That would have been his second goal of the game, but instead, it's 2-1 off the boot of CJ Capola, who gets to take credit for that one. .23 to go. Hokies retake the lead. Davidson quickly on the far flag. Top of the 18, a boot from distance deflects off the hands of Wenzel, who recollects. Shot from distance missing from Balin Young. All right, so here's some soccer rhetoric for you. PA just announced that Marcano is credited with the assist. And I know that's the correct stat there, but so what is Oliver Roach's contribution to a silly goal like that, where it deflects off his own teammate? Considering CJ Capola was the final goal scorer. Just some food for thought as Cooper Wenzel resets for the Hokies, who now lead it 2-1. Marcano back to Cardona. Marcano again off to Hackenberg. Same build-up, through ball, and just high. Oliver Roach with the expression of a man who just missed an easy opportunity. Could have been his second goal. 22 to go. Hokies still threatening. 3 shots on goal today from him. That one just over the post. Hokies on some bad service take it away at midfield with just over 21 and a half to go. Capola trying to start a build-up here. Marcano at midfield. Johannes thought it was going to Hensley, and now Davidson takes it back. Far touchline. Davidson down a goal after opening this half with an equalizer. Johannes streaking down the far touchline. Here's Hackenberg. Deep service, back post. Stays in play. Oliver Roach on ball. Out at midfield, it's Hensley. Hensley trying to get a through ball off. Couldn't get it to Roach. Fighting back for possession. And the Hokies will get it back. Alonzo Clark on the field now for Davidson. Couldn't keep it in. Out of Windsor, Connecticut. Junior midfielder. $19 to go here, second half of play. Hokies just keeping it in, but the offsides flag goes up. Turned out to be a pretty exciting contest tonight. Hokies in the first half simply outshot their opponents in Davidson. And it was an 8th minute attempt from Oliver Roach that found the back of the net to start off the scoring for Virginia Tech. Assisted by Ethan Hackenberg, a deflection in the box, and the tall Dutchman headed it in. Remained 1-0 Virginia Tech until the open of the second half. Meanwhile, Hokies building up here. Looking to make it 3-1. Coppola dancing on the left touchline. Service in, and a great effort to get it out from Clark. The equalizer at the 46th minute, opening seconds of the second half, was Noah Lozon, sophomore midfielder for Davidson. His first collegiate goal. Hokies looked deflated until they built up a great play where Oliver Roach, on great service from Hackenberg, put a volley forward right at the top of the 6th, and it pinballed off CJ Coppola, his teammate. And sure enough, deflected to find nylon. So Roach, a man looking for his rightful second goal, you could say, tonight. It was funny the faces him and his teammate made at one another. But a goal nonetheless, and the Hokies, with 17.5 to go, lead it 2-1. Cardona takes it away for the Hokies. In the maroon uniforms, working from right to left on your TV screen. CJ Coppola, goal scorer tonight. Gives it off to Hensley, the midfielder. Back to Coppola. Hokies building up. Top of the 18. Hensley. Pinball at the top of the box, and Lucas Beltran will gobble it up. And the Wildcats survive that effort by Virginia Tech. Fight at midfield. Whistle blows. And Hokies will take it the other way as Oliver Roach was a little banged up on that tackle. Virginia Tech, 5 fouls tonight. Wildcats with 3. Yet the Wildcats with their lone yellow card of this contest. Back in the first half, it was Iman Mardir. Meanwhile, that one pinballs out of play. Nice effort by Trey Gardner, the Davidson transfer, but nothing doing. 15 minutes to go here. Hokies lead it by a goal. On the field, Andy Sullins. Jack Brown to throw it in for Davidson as they're down 2-1 with 15 to go. Hokies handle it fine. Alonzo Clark pushed to the pitch, and Davidson will keep it. $14 to go. It's going to be a free kick deep in the corner here for Davidson. On ball as Dennis Kirchenkopf leads the team in assists. Wildcats setting up a bunch of runners at the top of the 18. This to equalize it with 14 to go. Kirchenkopf, back post, header, deflected away. Volley from the top, pinball back out. Second chance, deflection, and into the body of Cooper Wenzel, who picks it up now. Service to midfield. Hokies poke it back out now. CJ Capola with a through ball upfield. Nice touch by Sullins, fighting for space. Two defenders on him. Ball pushed out of play. And it looks like it'll be a throw in here.
Now checking on for Davidson, number 11, Jackson Neighbors, and number 23, Mateo Castellini.
2-1 Hokies, and here's how we got to this score so far. It was Oliver Roach to open up the scoring for Virginia Tech. Service from his buddy Hackenberg, and Roach, the 6'3 Dutchman, with a header to make it 1-0. Second half, Noah Lozon on a miscue from midfield, stole it, pinged it back corner, but then the Hokies respond. Just a few minutes ago, it was a deflection off the boot of Capola to find the back of the net. And that's how we make it a 2-1 score here in Blacksburg. Back and forth action. 3 lead changes throughout the contest. It was tied for just 10 minutes. Here's a through ball past the ACC logo. Wildcats looking to equalize it once more. Top of the box. Contact from behind. No whistle blows, and the Hokies will take it back. Hokies trying to build up now. Noe Uemana back on the pitch. Johannes gives it out to the right back, and now Hackenberg in pursuit. Wildcats steal it back in the far corner. Nico Kwan back on the pitch now for Davidson. 11.5 to go. 2 bodies tied up in midfield, and Carter Hensley couldn't get it for the Hokies, but he gets the whistle instead. Patrick Ward not happy with that call. 11 minutes to go, and the Hokies maintaining a 2-1 advantage over Davidson. Cooper Wenzel wasting time on that one as he boots it out of play. Wenzel's been solid tonight. 2 saves, 1 goal allowed. What an addition for the Hokies out of Cal State Northridge. And the senior keeper, second best in the ACC by save percentage. Well into the 700s. Big throw in from Jack Brown. Headers at the top of the box, volley, and he couldn't chip it in. Balin Young with his first shot of the afternoon, but not on goal. So with 10 minutes to go, it remains 2-1 Hokies. And Cooper Wenzel lets it fly. Another whistle, stoppage of play, and Davidson takes it the other way. Hokies tonight, 13 shots, 8 of which on goal. 8 shots, just 3 on goal for Davidson, yet it's just a 2-1 ball game. Nice touch at midfield, and the Hokies building up. Oliver Roach finds Johannes at midfield. Out to Uimana. Gardner to Wenzel. Evades pressure now, and the Hokies give it back to their keeper. 8.5 to go. Hokies lead it 2-1. Service upfield from Wenzel. Wildcats with a chance. Could be their last one. And now some substitutions for Davidson.
Number 13, Miles Cully, and number 25, Garrett Wilkins.
They bring on Lyman Ott. Senior from South Carolina, one of 2 South Carolina natives on this Wildcats roster. Seven and a half to go. Davidson with a high boot at midfield, but they keep it. Jack Brown serves it up. Top of the 18. Shot from distance, and it's headed out of play. A corner kick for Davidson. That was Floki Stevenson getting a touch on that one. True freshman out of Iceland. Some international U19 experience. And the 6'4" freshman looks to keep the Hokies in it here with 6.5 to go. On ball is Ott. Could be the last chance for Davidson. Second corner kick of the night. Wenzel has to get a hand on it. Volley from the top of the box, and it finds the back of the net. What a shot from distance. On the volley, it's Miles Cully. Netting it in the left corner. Just like that, it's equalized again with 6.5 to go. What a game. Miles Cully with an emphatic second goal of the year on a crazy volley from 20 yards out. Punched out, finds the free boot of Cully. Off 2 defenders, it finds the top corner. What a crazy volley to equalize it for the second time tonight. Just their 4th shot on goal. And in the 83rd minute, Davidson makes it a 2-2 score. Wildcats give the ball away, though, at midfield. And now the Hokies streak towards the attacking third. Ian Marcano. Far corner. And it's taken away. Wildcats. Nice touch. On the attacking third, they're up with numbers. Could be a chance to take it, but instead a through ball is too hot on the pace, and the Hokies will take it the other way. 5.5 to go. Hensley on a through ball. Couldn't get it. Wildcats spoil it. Under 5 to go. So much has happened in this game. Oliver Roach with an 8th minute goal. It was 1-0 at halftime and 3 separate goals in the second half between these two squads. It was Noah Lozon to respond as he netted his first collegiate goal in the opening minute of this second half. Hokies responded on service from Ethan Hackenberg. It was Oliver Roach volleying a ball off his teammate and finding nylon. CJ Capola credited with the goal. And finally, just 2 minutes ago, Davidson responds once more for a second equalizer of the afternoon. It was Miles Culley, top left of the goal. And Culley with an exclamation point of a second goal of the season. Under 4 to go. Whistle at midfield. Hokies hurry up. Uemana in a little bit of pain.
Checking in from Virginia Tech, number 20, Malik Chow.
And Malik Chow back on the pitch for Virginia Tech. Hokies going to bring numbers up here with 3:40 on the clock. Ian Marcano charged with some service. And it looks like they're going to have Cooper Wenzel run up and touch it off to Marcano, who now starts the play. But it looks like we weren't ready for action as head referee Amin Hadzik talks with Alonzo Clark of Davidson, and now we get things rolling. Marcano lets it rip. He aims it towards the back right post, and the Wildcats handle it fine. Davidson streaking upfield. 3.5 to go. It's 2-2 here in Blacksburg. They switch fields now. Jack Brown trying to find space. Patrick Ward working away. Here's a through ball. Off to Neighbors. Towards the back post. Can't get it. Second chance. It's wide. Dennis Kirchenkov could have had a huge one there. Instead, he pins it off target. And with under 3 to go, that could have been the Wildcats' last shot at winning this game. Kirchenkov just lined it up wide. Now Noah Uemana in a little bit of pain again. Sophomore out of Texas. Often a late-minute substitution for Virginia Tech. And the underclassmen eating up the final 15 minutes, it appears. Cooper Wenzel, under 3 to go and some service to midfield. Hokies looking to streak back. A win here would snap a 2-game skid. Service to the top of the 6th. And it's deflected away. Wildcats spoil a possible last opportunity for Virginia Tech. Can they build back up? Hokies led 1-0, allowed an equalizer. Took it back 2-1. Mere minutes ago, Wildcats equalized it again. What statement can they make in the final 2 minutes? Uimana. Finds Capola, goal scorer today. Gives it off to Uimana, but the pace is too strong, and Alonzo Clark boots it away. Now the Hokies get a throw in deep into their attacking third. Trey Gardner, the Davidson transfer, with a chance at some service here against his former team. Under 2 to go. Gardner lets it rip. Uimana the target. Can't find him. Top of the box. And now Davidson racing upfield. 90 seconds to go. They find a man into the attacking third, but they call him offsides, and the Wildcats disagree. So now the Hokies streak upfield after the offside. Service to the top of the box. Hensley lets it rip, and it's out of play. Jack Brown, the defender, getting in his face after that shot. With under a minute to go, Hokies couldn't get their last shot to find net. 45 seconds on the clock. Uimana can't get it. Uh-oh, a loose ball at the top of the box. No whistle blown on some contact there. 30 seconds to go. Hokies take it back at midfield. 25 seconds. Ian Marcano, last chance for the Hokies. Through ball, and Lucas Beltran will gobble it up. Ten seconds to go, and now the thoughts of what could have been breaching into the heads of Marcano and company for the Hokies. And that'll do it. 2-2 the final. Hokies had an 8th minute goal.